I spent 8 years teaching at basically a black university. And one of the things that I noticed is they knew nothing about slavery except they were very sensitive to it. The theory is that evil white men on wooden ships went into Africa and brought back slaves to bring to America. It's impossible for this to work this way. The ship sailors are not in the business of being slavers, they're in the business of sailing ships. And so they stopped in Africa to pick up the slaves who were already in slave pens. That is, this was a business transaction. Well, how did the slaves get into those pens? Well, this is the thing we want to talk about, because it turns out that there were over 11 million slaves that were brought in from the west coast of Africa, and for every slave that wound up being on the plantation, 5 more died before that, because
That's right.
There's a lot of collateral damage in collecting slaves. But I found that at this university there was a complete lack of ignorance about the nature of slavery, that is, that Muslims sold the slave to the white man. I was listening to an interview on NPR, and they were beginning to at least discuss the subject of slavery and to agree that, well, it was African tribes who captured other Africans to sell them to the white man.
We're getting closer, right?
But we're not there, nor did we actually get there, because it turns out that the reason they were there was this was a process of jihad that collected the slaves, and they had very good doctrinal reasons for doing this.